The Democrats, who hold most of the top elected offices in Colorado, are trying to figure out how to effectively oppose the Trump administration.
And they're getting pressure from Democratic voters to step it up. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch is at Hinckley High School tonight, the site of a town hall hosted by Congressman Crow.
Yeah, and I just have to give you some perspective. We're standing in the parking lot right now, which is empty, but earlier this evening, every single parking spot in this lot was taken up and even overflowed into some of the neighboring properties. People packed out the room tonight to hear from their representative on how Democrats will fight back against the Trump administration. This is what it looked like inside Hinckley High School. The town hall lasted an hour where Crow called out Elon Musk for his influence in government security and President Trump for spreading lies and misinformation. But some in the audience say they walked away wishing for more of a direct plan of action for Democrats.
I heard a lot about how he wanted to fight for us, but I didn't learn a lot about how he's going to fight for us. What are their specific plans? How are they going to, kind of curtail Elon Musk's power?
I genuinely hoped that Congressman Crow would leave this group with a call to action to organize so that we have the power to overcome the power that in a free and fair election we lent to Donald Trump for the next 4 years. I wanted less of a rally.
That last person that you just heard from also attended Crow's rally last year. He says he felt the energy was really similar in the sense of feeling like he attended a political rally as opposed to feeling mobilized. Live in Aurora, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
Tonight, meteorologists around the country are warning of the impact of layoffs at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. Several sources told the Associated Press that hundreds of weather forecasters and other employees were fired today as part of President Trump and Elon Musk's effort to shrink the size of the federal government. We reached out to the local office in Boulder to learn about the impact there. They wouldn't talk about it. But Craig McLean, a former NOAA chief scientist, says when it's over, he expects 10% of NOAA's workforce will be gone. Says he got that information from somebody with firsthand knowledge. One of the biggest names in American weather forecasting, Al Roker, wrote today, quote, "Going into severe weather and hurricane season, this cannot be good." New tonight, federal judge in San Francisco has ruled that the mass firings of federal probationary employees by Trump and Musk were likely unlawful. Today's decision grants some temporary relief to a coalition of labor unions and organizations that have sued to stop the Trump administration's massive trim of the federal workforce. A judge ordered the Office of Personnel Management to inform certain federal agencies that it had no authority to order the firings of probationary employees, including folks at the Department of Defense. The judge said, quote, "OPM does not have any authority whatsoever under any statute in the history of the universe," end quote, to hire and fire employees outside their own.
After a quick warm-up today, we saw temps reach back into the 60s. Those conditions are expected to continue through the weekend before some potential changes early next week. March is upon us, Kathy, but let's just talk about the gorgeous weekend for a second.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Today, mid-60s. We could go close to 70 tomorrow. We're going to bring in a little snow for weekend skiers, and there's been good travel conditions on I-70 all afternoon and evening. And after a day with temperatures some 15 to 20 degrees above average, we're still pretty comfortable out there at 47 degrees currently for Denver. Temperatures right now are about 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. That trend will continue into your Friday. Watching the wind, it's been calm all day, but seeing the wind pick up just a little bit around Loveland Pass, Kenosha Pass, and Berthoud Pass. And that wind will impact those of you headed into the mountains to get a weekend of skiing in. Right now, high pressure is keeping all storm systems away, but it's the one off in the Pacific that will be here on Sunday for the mountains. Temperatures before the storm gets here will continue mild, as well as those temperatures for tonight. But the headlines, we have above average temperatures. That trend continues through the weekend. Mountain snow Sunday, metro snow by Tuesday.
During an overnight shift, Arapahoe County Sheriff's deputies rescued 2 women who drunkenly drove their car into a creek. It happened just south of Arapahoe Road near the Centennial Airport.
9 News reporter Colton Chavez joins us now from the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. And Colton, deputies say they only stopped because somebody flagged them down.
Yeah, Kyle, deputies tell me it was because of a single witness that just happened to be on the road at 1 in the morning that they were even able to find where the car had crashed.
Be that down there. It's right there. It looks like it's upside down.
With the guidance of a lone witness,
They weren't visible from the road. It's pitch black.
Arapahoe County Sheriff's deputies were able to locate a submerged SUV with 2 women trapped inside. With no idea of how deep the water was, Deputy Derek Helveston and Lieutenant Michael Reed went in anyway.
It's cold.
Well, I was really hoping the ice was a little more solid than what it turned out to be. And I found out that it wasn't, and eventually ended up to here in the water.
Hey, windows are fully submerged under the water.
The deputies made their way through the icy cold water, wading over to the car.
I began hearing banging coming from inside the car.
She's banging on the door.
At that point, we knew that there was somebody alive and that we needed to do something now.
Deputy Helveston says he was able to pull one of the women out of the car. South Metro Fire used the jaws of life to rescue the other woman.
Honestly, I had zero expectations of finding anyone alive in the car after seeing the damage to it and it being submerged in the water upside down.
Both women were taken to the hospital. They suffered just minor injuries. Deputy Helveston says they're lucky this story ended the way it did.
The worst of the worst was going through our minds, you know. It could have been way worse than it was. But since having the witness, our response there, the help that we had from everybody, the teamwork, the effort that everybody put into it, ultimately saved their life.
The driver and the passenger were both drunk at the time of the crash. The driver was charged with DUI. Live outside the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
New tonight, the Air Force Academy says dozens of cadets are involved in a cheating scandal. It revolves around a weekly knowledge test. The Academy says nearly 100 cadets admitted to either cheating or tolerating cheat during that test. The Academy says it's holding them accountable for violating the honor code. Classes resume tomorrow at Columbine High School. The school was closed today after a fire started near the wood shop yesterday. The flames were first reported in the sawdust collection area right outside the school. South Metro Fire posted this video of those flash flames igniting in the school's ventilation system. The building was evacuated and shut down today until crews could decide if it is safe for students to return there.
Hundreds of sexual assault survivors in Colorado are waiting due to a backlog that's left rape kits untested for 2 years.
The state recently approved $3 million to fix the crisis, in part because of testimony from one survivor. 9 News reporter Rhea Jaw shares her story.
If you can please state your name, any organization you represent, and then proceed. Thank you for being here.
Thanks. My name is Miranda Spencer. I'm a sexual assault survivor.
It's the last place you'd want to tell people about the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
And I'm here to ask in the oversight hearing of the Department of Public Safety that we address the public safety issue of the staggering wait times for processing rape kits in Colorado.
Miranda Spencer did it, knowing those lawmakers had the power to decide if the pain mattered.
Over 400 days ago, I was drugged with fentanyl, sexually assaulted, and left incapacitated in my own vomit in my home. The top 11/20 is when it was submitted.
Her rape kit submitted on November 20th, 2023 remains untested.
If I had known what this was going to be like, I cannot tell you that I would have reported it.
What have you not been able to do because you don't have this?
I haven't been able to get a restraining order against the person that did this to me. The DA can't press charges until the kit is back. I am scared in my own home.
A system trapping her and more than 1,400 others whose rape kits are backlogged in the CBI system. Some have been waiting even longer than Miranda. The oldest untested kit dated March of 2023. On January 8th, she testified at the Capitol in front of lawmakers, not just for herself, but for every other survivor still waiting.
The rape kit backlog feels so inhumane to me as a survivor. How can we expect people to report crimes like this when the process is so brutal for their survivor? And now I'm asking that you do everything you possibly can to ensure this backlog is eliminated.
In the weeks after Miranda's testimony, state reps began pushing for funding to address the rape kit backlog.
The motion is adopted.
Lawmakers say she was the first survivor impacted by this to share their story.
It took a survivor to put us back into that correct mind frame of we have to do better for these victims.
CBI Director Chris Schaefer says their goal is to cut turnaround times in half by this time next year.
We hope to outsource the first batch within the next couple months.
He's committing to a dashboard on their website to show real-time reduction in backlog numbers.
How can victims trust that you will stick to that goal?
Well, right now all I can give them is words, but words don't mean anything. Let us prove to you that we are going to do better. Let us prove to you that this will not happen again.
Hopefully my rape kit is processed at some point. I don't have a lot of hope anymore.
While she didn't choose this battle, she did what no one else had and made Colorado listen.
And finally, I ask that you remember me and my story and every story just like mine. Thank you for your time today and for hearing my perspective.
The CBI will use the funding to contract to external labs and starting in March must provide monthly updates to lawmakers on the backlog progress. Miranda is hosting a town hall at the Capitol on Monday, March 3rd, bringing survivors, community members, and lawmakers together to discuss the impact and how to hold officials accountable. More details on the event can be found under this story on our website. Riyad Shah, 9 News.